This is CoinsKid. I'm just going to dive into Bitcoin once again. Thank you for support. Okay, big up the CoinsKid crew. Thank you to each and every single one of you for everything that you do. So you can see that Bitcoin's picked up here. Hopefully, we've had our ABC correction right now and we've loaded out. Okay, so we have to be careful, obviously, because this get rejected and roll back down, and you can continue with a trend. Because what we've done here, like I showed you yesterday, we've actually bounced off the 1272. We've held it as support. There was a technical target of a head and shoulders pattern just here. Okay, we lost this neckline. If we look at it on the daily, you can see it better. Not on the daily, I think it's the 4 hourly time frame, isn't it? Yeah, so on the 4 hourly time frame there, we've got that little fake out just there, came back up, lost the support just there, rallied into resistance. So you can see that this is the neckline right now. You can see that this is where we're running into at the moment as resistance. So what we do need to see here, to hopefully that this is the ABC, okay, is to break this eye. Once we come back up there, you know, personally I think that you're looking at retracement to this eye, and once you break that eye, you've got a technical target, and I'll show you straight away your technical target if we break up now, you know, and it is all a big if. Anything can happen. This is crypto, isn't it? So for me, this is your next 1618 target up there at 73,191. The reason we've got that white line there is because I said to you yesterday, potentially if you do roll over and we bounce off this white line here, okay, which was that was a swing high there, wasn't it? And I think it was the same drop as this A wave, the B wave high, and then the C wave. If the C wave here was the same length as the A wave, which it was in the previous ABC correction down there, you know, that we fell short of the 1618 fib right down there as well. If it is the same length, then this white line is where you may get fruitful with some bids, because it was short of the 1618, okay, just over the 1414. So you can see you've held the 1272 like a boss, you know. It's looking really good, to be honest with you, but I don't want to get too excited. But this is a massive green candle, you know. Potentially this could be a breakout. We start to break back above this level of resistance right now, this trend line, because you can see we've run into it. If we do start to come back above that and get back above these EMAs on the hourly time frame right here, you know, you could potentially fall back to support and get your breakout, and this is where you could be looking at a new all-time high for Bitcoin, coming up to 73,191, where I would expect a level of resistance to come into play. Okay, we've got these levels up here. We've got the 1272, sorry, at 69664. We've got the 1414 at 71090 as well. But what we have to do is break this high. So once we do come up, okay, and I think we will come up eventually. We're having a correction. It's what happens, you know. Once we do come up and we start to break these highs and take them out, especially this all-time high, you could be looking at a beautiful little long up of around about 9.22%, sorry, for Bitcoin moving forward. It's all about getting back above this level of resistance. This technical level of resistance is this neckline of this inverse head and shoulders, because like I said to you, you've got head and shoulders, sorry, you've got the head, you've got the left shoulder, and you've got, that was really naughty. Sorry about that. And you can see you've lost it and you're rallying basically into it as resistance. If you continue to do that, this is where you can see the continuation of the downtrend, basically coming down to this technical target that you are actually in. Okay, but like I said to you, Bitcoin is very strong. Okay, we was in a head and shoulders pattern on the previous correction, which brought us down in that ABC as well, which I've shown you multiple times, and that particular target was never met. So, you know, it's on a knife edge. If we do start to break this level of resistance just here for Bitcoin, then I do think you're getting the party started, and we're looking to sort of end the October off quite high here, moving into November, because I'm going to show you right now. If you're not following this guy, PlanB, okay, he made this tweet way back in June, okay, and you know I've always been bullish. This guy's bullish as well. There's lots of people in the space that are bullish, okay. He posted this in June and he says, look, Bitcoin is below 34k, triggered by Elon Musk's energy FUD and China's mining crackdown, coupled with the fact that it needed to cool down and have a correction as well. Okay, it did need to come down, and it did come down, and it hold a key level support for continuation, and that's exactly what it got, you know. So personally, we was looking at that even before all of this crap, you know. I was looking at a correction, you know. So okay, it adds to the trigger, but it was basically already written in the charts. Do you understand that? So there is also more fundamental reason that we see weakness in June and possibly July, because you usually get, like in May, sell and go away, and then a couple of months of rollover, and then you come the latter stages of summer there, you do usually see a pickup in the markets, and that's exactly what's happened. Okay, a slight pickup, then a September, and then we're into October, and we've had a beautiful October so far, and then we're looking for Govember, aren't we? You know, the most bullish month in crypto is upon us. Basically, the most bullish 2 months in crypto is upon us. So my worst case scenario for 2021 is price on chain based, so he uses a lot of on chain data as well. August 47k, well, we did close out at 47k. September closed out at 43k, and we did close out bang on 43k, and October closed out at 63k. So all we have to do by the end of the month is theoretically come all the way back up to here, to this 786, literally retrace to the golden ratio, to be honest with you. So if we can start to come up right now and retrace this golden ratio to 0.618, okay, this is what it does. It comes down like this, boom, 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 you retrace, okay, to a key level resistance before continuing with the trend. So even if we was to come up here and come up to that level at 63k, just there, the fib, the guy would be bang on again, okay, and then we come down, put that extra leg in down there, bounce off the technical target, but with that you'd be invalidating it because you're breaking out of this little resistance just there. I do apologise about the state of my charts. I'll tidy them up a little bit for you. So yeah, you know, if we come up right now and we bounce and hit that, you'll be invalidating this pattern, because like I said to you, the pattern that's at play is valid until invalidated away. The way to invalidate this pattern right now, obviously, you come up, this is a step to progression of invalidating this pattern. Come up, break the high, and take out that high of the head, okay, because when you do that, you're invalidating this pattern, okay, you're invalidating a head and shoulders pattern basically. So that's Bitcoin. It's doing really, really well. So add to that, if you take a look at his extended forecast here, so November is calling for 98k, a 98k close, sorry, and December 135k. Pretty much ties in with my technical analysis, doesn't it, so far? You know, I think a bare minimal, I think I did a video last week on my minimal target for Bitcoin is 126k, and I've shown you the reasons why for that as well. Obviously there's other forecasts floating around, you know, but I'm looking for a good year end here for Bitcoin, and one of the reasons is, and I'll show you straight away, personally, is the DXY. Okay, now the DXY for me, a lot of people are really bullish on the DXY, and I'm going to show you what I think's happening for the DXY. So if I zoom out on the daily, okay, I think I've shown you before, you know, it's probably been a while since I've updated you. So for me, you know, this continuation of the trend, you've come down here, and we're mirroring a fractal last year. Look, we've got the October, rolled over, relief, continued down, created this touchdown here, okay, by the 4th of January, and with that you're seeing this is where Bitcoin went on an insane run, and it did a 4x basically. I think a minimal for it. It went from 10k all the way to around about 43k come January, okay, where it had a correction. So right now, you know, right here, this point, we've put in a lower high than this here, okay, and look where the point is where we start to roll in the DXY. So we've rolled over, we're putting a relief just like we did here, roll over, relief, okay, and then continue. So right now if we do something like this, you're coming down to touch the base of a broadening wedge. Do you see that? And if you lose that support, this is where you come back down to touch this base with this broadening wedge. Let me show you. Okay, so for me, I think the DXY is looking relatively bearish. Okay, it's not completely long-term bearish. I do think it'll pick up eventually. I think you're going to get a touch off this level of down here, this support. This is where you're going to see that massive rally for crypto, the year end. Okay, that's your year end rally, just like we got the year end rally last year. Come down, touch the base, you know, create these points of contact in this big broadening ascending wedge right there, which, you know, if you do lose support down here, this is where Bitcoin and crypto could enter a super cycle, okay, and you could be looking at astronomical figures for crypto. But if it does bounce here, this could spell the end of the bull run. Just here, this red line, okay, which is basically January, okay, just like this one was. It came down, bounced here. This is where Bitcoin had a monster correction, and then, you know, the DXY started to pick up. With that, there was a bit of a correlation, an inverse correlation was actually broken, because the DXY picked up and so did Bitcoin. But at this point, just here, when Bitcoin started to correct, and then that monster correction, this is where your Bitcoin had a big correction, and DXY rallied basically. But in doing so, you've created a bearish broadening ascending wedge. So for me, you're looking to come back down to test this trend line as support once more, you know, and potentially that could spell the end of the bull run. Just there, this particular touch, you know, if we do come down like this in the DX1, we bounce off there, that could be a signal that, you know, it's the end of its run, and whatever price it is at that point, we'll look at it. But for me, you're in a broadening wedge, which is a bearish pattern basically. Once you lose support of these broadening wedges, you do tend to come back down to where you form the wedge. So you start to lose that. This is where you can see, if you lose that level of support just there, you could actually continue with a trend and come down and retouch this larger broadening ascending wedge as support. Okay, so this is what I've always been looking at for the DXY, and everything is correlated, because even here, if you go back to the videos just here, it says, look, your DXY is running to a key level resistance of a broadening wedge, okay, and it's also mirroring this particular fractal from last year, okay, and look, you've ran into a high just there, and you've actually made a lower high than this point here. So for me, you've come down in 5 waves basically. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're continuing with the trend. You know, you're coming down basically in in a bullish pattern, a bearish pattern, sorry. So this is a really crucial area for the DXY, because once this bounces here and goes up, okay, potentially that could spell the end of the bull run, but it could equally spell continuation of the bull run for crypto, sending us into a, you know, an unforeseen super cycle, basically a mania phase for crypto. So this is a potential play. It doesn't have to happen, but this is just something that I'm looking at in the charts as a potential play moving forward for crypto, okay? Because everyone and the mum and the dad is expecting a blow off top this Christmas, okay? And like I said to you in so many videos, potentially we get that blow off top, and that's where we run into a level of resistance and we start to look like we're going to retrace and go into a bear market. But that's where the DXY may potentially give the game away, okay? It might give the game away at that point. Okay, so that's basically a little update, you know, probably a bit of hopium to be honest with you, but you are sort of mirroring this fractal. Look, you've come down, you're reliefing, boom, okay. And if you look on the weekly as well, for the DXY, we take a look at the weekly time frame. You know, you can see however extended you are from the EMAs. So for me, you're looking to come back to these EMAs. Look, you're looking at least to come back to these EMAs. You know, with that, when you start to roll down here to retest these EMAs, if you start to lose them, that's quite negative, okay? So you need to come down. You're a bit overextended from the EMAs. You know, I think you're coming down to the EMAs at least. So with that, just that little leg down, this is where you're going to see a push in the crypto markets anyway. So that's basically a little bit of thought experiment for you today on Bitcoin and the DXY. Let me take a look at the Bitcoin chart again. So for me on the Bitcoin chart, like I said to you yesterday, I do think potentially you have got some kind of falling wedge on the go here. Let's have a look at this. Okay, so you have got some kind of falling wedge on the go. So it's a key level resistance. Let me tidy these charts up for you, okay? So you can see that the Bitcoin chart just there, you're forming some kind of falling wedge. You see that, a little bullish reversal pattern. You know, this was a larger one just there. Once you broke that level resistance, you went to the upside. So it's a really crucial time here. You know, we are looking for some kind of bottom out structure just there. I don't know if we've necessarily formed it yet. So we've got a little bit of a W bottom just there, but what you might see is a level of rejection at this level just there. Come back like that, come back up, okay, and there's your ascending triangle. There's your beautiful W bottom pattern like that. Once you break that resistance just there, this is where you're going to break out to the upside, okay, and you're putting in that reversal signature for Bitcoin. So yeah, and these technical targets of the head and shoulders potentially might not get met here for Bitcoin moving forward. So that's basically Bitcoin. Little update for you today. Take care everyone. Back soon with another update on Bitcoin. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned, and thank you for your support. Bye bye.